Hi there, my name is Kendrick, and today I get to interview Maartje. So Maartje, welcome.
Hi, nice to be here. How are you?
Good, good. And can you tell us your full type, please?
Yeah, I was typed FMTENI, blast, sleep, play, consume last. But I'm actually thinking I might be the same type, but blast, sleep, consume, play last.
Gotcha. And then you're a standard ENTJ then.
Yeah, very standard. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. So when you got your typing results back, what did you think and how did you feel?
I was not surprised about the NI. I was very surprised about the decider access. Like, what? Seriously? What? But now, of course, when you think about it a bit and when you start looking at yourself, yeah, now I really can't stop hearing myself doing TE these days. So yeah, okay, they got that right. I actually thought I would be an IJ, so being an EJ is like just a bit switched around, and I really didn't like that at first. Like, why am I decider? But that's pretty much spot on too, though.
Gotcha. Well, you're like an IJ. You're an IJ version of EJs. So
Exactly right. Double savior NI is still pretty IJ-ish.
right, exactly.
Yeah,
Well, why don't we go over your parts and let's start with your first animal, which is NT Blast. So
yeah,
it's going to be similar to Dave's and Shan's, if not exactly the same. Actually, exactly the same as Shan's,
exactly
except
the same chance. Yeah,
she has it last and you have it first. Uh,
exactly.
and then your Blast is double masculine. If you are what they type you as, that means it's double masculine, double activated. But if it's based on your assessment that your play lasted and single activated. So,
Yeah.
but regardless, let's discuss this. So, how do you personally experience that double masculine NT blast of yours?
Um, I actually yeah, it feels like just sort of disembodied being outside myself, putting together all the blocks of the universe. Basically does not have anything to do with me. I just see things and then they match or they don't match, and it's very much yeah, a very impersonal kind of thing to do. In terms of how I use it with people, I actually think I sort of blast myself out of blasting at people a lot, because masculine and I sort of knows the future, right? So there's a lot of situations where I'm just like, yeah, I could say something, but they're just going to be like this, and then that's going to happen, and that's going to happen, and that's going to happen, and they're not going to listen to me anyway. So I'm not even going to say anything. It's not worth it.
That's funny. I guess that's where the sleep kicks in too, because you sleep process what's gonna happen to the future. So
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah, you're like, no point. There's no point.
Yeah, these are all people. They are on this world to make their own mistakes, and it's
Yeah.
not like you can warn them out of doing stuff. And even if you're right, I mean, people want to do things their own way. So yeah, that's just not.
You know, I've always felt like the craziest function is masculine NI. That is like the most, no offense, the most batshit crazy function there is.
I mean, you're not wrong.
If you're
Yeah.
you're so like people with masculine NI are so sure what's gonna happen in the future, but then the sensory is feminine, right? So it's like
Oh yeah, my sensory is awful.
it doesn't have that to like back up your oracle prediction of the future.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
was just chatting with people yesterday, and they said there's something about how they don't like arguing with people. And if you argue with them, that you have to be prepared to come with the facts. Like, yeah, no, I will not
You
ever
got
be
nothing.
prepared
You
to
got
come with
nothing.
the facts. I'm pretty sort of skeptical. I don't believe just anything. So if I learn something new, I really sort of I'm very sort of strict and no, this doesn't make sense. This no, 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 no. Yes, okay, now it makes sense. But once I get past that sort of logic gate, then it's like, okay, now we can forget the whole thing, how we got there and all the numbers and figures, and but who cares? The conclusion is it makes sense, and now we can work with that.
Gotcha. Yeah, my girlfriend has masculine NI also, so it's
Yeah.
like I live with her, so it's kind of like living with that is like, oh man, like she's always
No,
saying,
no, I'm right, but I forgot. I'm sorry.
yeah, she'll tell me, she'll be like, you always do this, you always do it. I'm like, because like like her masculine
Yeah.
NI, sure I always do this, and I'm like, oh yeah, and then I give her the facts. According to the facts, I've only done it 5% of the time. She's like, what, really?
Okay, yeah.
And
In
then
my
she's like,
Chip, I'm both the you always do this pattern keeper, but also the person who can come up with examples. My husband is worse than me in terms
Yeah.
of coming up with examples. So I got him beat both sides of the playing field.
So he can't argue with you because he can't provide.
No, but he always wins because he's got some sort of masculine DI. I think he is SI Dave.
Oh,
So
you're dating it. Your husband's a Dave, eh? Kind of.
I think so. Yeah, I think he's a ISTJ Dave. So masculine FI. If he doesn't want it, he's not gonna happen. And it doesn't matter if I've got arguments. It's just
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Your double masculine blast is NT. It's correlated with problem solving and also intelligence. So I wanna approach both sides of those coins. So the first one is the intelligence part. Do you have the habit? Maybe you don't verbalize it, or maybe you only do it in private. But do you say, "That's so stupid. That's stupid," because it's like aggressive and it's NT, you know? So when you see something that's stupid, do you like come and
No,
attack it? You don't.
no,
You,
no.
you
Like
don't.
I don't know what's going on with people on the inside, right? So I know that I have plenty stupid habits that anyone with a smidge of sense could say, no, that's really stupid. Don't do that.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, I'm sorry, but I cannot not do that. I'm not at this point able to stop doing this. So I'm pretty sure that the same thing is going on for other people. So there's no point in calling them stupid.
Gotcha. And then what about the NT part itself? Are you good at problem solving? Because you have double masculine NT blast.
I'm really good at the kind of strategic problem solving. I'm good at MacGyvering stuff. I'm
Oh,
not good at actual ST stuff. Yeah.
right. That makes sense because you have it as a demon, which we'll
Yeah.
talk about later.
Exactly. Either way, no matter which stack, it's a demon. Yeah.
Exactly. And then one of the things about anti-blast is overgeneralization. Do you see yourself overgeneralizing things?
Like, how would you know though, right?
I mean, you would get feedback from the tribe if you were overgeneralizing. They were like, so can you give me examples of that? And you're like, feminine SE, right?
Yeah, okay, but I will definitely say, hey, I've got a bad feeling about this, or I've read something about this. I can't remember exactly the facts. I'll look them up for you if you need them. But this is probably not a good idea. But yeah, I'm sort of circumspect in being overly generalizing with things.
Gotcha. All right. Why don't we approach your next animal here, which is sleep.
Yeah.
This makes you a very interesting EJ because sleep is correlated with the IP type.
Yeah.
So you're like an EJ, IJ, IP. So you have like this extreme inner contradiction happening, or you could even argue that you have rudimentary double deciding, like a very slow version of it, but better than most people who don't have activation with their FI, which you do.
Yeah.
However, yours is feminine, so it adds an extra layer of challenge because it's feminine FI. So and then your NF sleep is sorry, it's NF sleep. So it's meaning and purpose and all that jazz.
Yeah.
Can you share how you personally experience that NF sleep of yours?
Like I always say, look, my soul is made up of 1/3 Star Trek, 1/3 ElfQuest, and 1/3 Discworld, and it's held together by song lyrics. So that's how I experience being me.
I like that. That's good. That's a good description. Go ahead. Yeah, keep going.
Yeah. And with the double deciding, yeah, I actually thought I would be an observer, and from the community typing, I think it was 50-50 double observer, double decider that they came back with as type guesses. And that's also why I thought, like, I really didn't like being typed a decider. And it was kind of funny because I went like, I'm not a decider. How can I be a decider? I was trying to be a good person. I was trying to see all sides of the coin. And why? Like, oh yeah, there's actually quite a lot of energy around this. So yeah, I may have the skill, but the first initial sort of animal level feedback when something like that happens is definitely the, and that's okay. Yeah, no, absolutely. And also I do get more than my fair share of observer problems because of that demon play, I guess. either way, it's like those things are easily too much and or move too fast, and then I can't keep up, and then I have to do all the things, and it's so that always feels like an observer problem in terms of stuff like printers or having to call the helpline for something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
I guess you would also hate chaos then, because you're double OI, right? So
yeah, absolutely. So that's why I thought I had plenty of observer problems.
yeah. Um, part of NF sleep is having a code or a mantra. Do you personally have one? Like, I can give you
Yeah,
if you need it, but
like I said, with the Star Trek and the Discworld and the ElfQuest, like that's definitely those are my, like, yeah. I would say like I was raised by wolves, but not by wolves, but by books, and those are like the founding principles, right? So if you look at Star Trek, it's about like exploration and looking beyond what's there and stuff like that. That's definitely my values are in there.
oh, cool. Okay. Now that you've explained it, that makes more sense. Okay.
Yeah.
So because you value exploration because of Star Trek, even though you're OI, do you see yourself still going out of your way to gather or like travel or like, go outside your box to honor that value of yours, which is
Yeah,
exploration?
I think I'm definitely fairly open-minded. When you look at the big five personality tests, I was score really high in openness to experience. Um, and it's not in the chaotic way, right? I mean, you can do all the exploring and the traveling. You can do that in an OI friendly way.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
just
true.
like if you call me tonight that you have tickets for my favorite artist, I will not say yes. But if you call me in 2 weeks that you have tickets to your favorite artist that I've never heard of, and you want me to come with, I'll be there.
So
Even though I don't have any DI reason to go to your favorite artist, but hey, it's new. I don't know. It sounds good. Hey, sure, I'll be there. Yeah.
what
But it
if
needs to be planned in advance.
what if I have tickets to your favorite artist, not mine, yours, for tomorrow?
Yeah. No, I would really want to make that work, but tomorrow's already like this is that and that and that.
But it's your favorite artist. It's
But
your
it's my
hero.
favorite artist.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
going to be
So,
a
so
huge problem.
so who's gonna win then?
Probably, I would say no. With deep sorrow and regrets, I would say no. Yeah,
Really? It's your favorite
really,
artist.
really.
You
Yeah.
wouldn't move your schedule around?
It's not about schedule so much, right? It's not, but there are other people in the schedule.
What if the other people's like, what are you doing? Go,
If the other people are like, yeah, I got this, I got the babysitter, I got the sick twins, I've got the 5-year-old who's being kind of weird right now, no problem. We had plans, but we're happy to move. Then of course I'll be there. Yeah, sure. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so if you get the permission from the tribe, then it's okay.
Yeah. If it's, but not just the permission, because they can say that it's okay, but I need
Permission
to,
and logistics. Permission.
I need to be in agreement that it's okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. But if I have to move all those people just to get to see my favorite artist, probably wouldn't.
That's insane. For me, I would be like, I would go. I would be like, screw you all, I'm going.
No, yeah.
I would make it work. But anyways, whatever. I have
Lead DE is horrible.
what's that?
Lead DE is horrible.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard for you guys for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see what else. Let's go with your two demons. Okay.
Yeah.
You have play and consume as demons. Let's
Yeah.
go with play first. Your play is ST. How do you personally experience that ST demon, or how do you not experience it?
I mostly just, if something is really chaotic, I just really don't like it. It just makes me annoyed and aggressive, and I don't want any of this, and I just want to go home and hide under the bed. Like, just get this off me.
Right.
I'm of course I'm not 20 anymore. I'm almost 40, and I've gotten pretty good in sort of OIing the chaos and sort of sticking my neck out and going to things even though it's probably going to be pretty overwhelming. One of the tricks I always do is like I try to find a job wherever I go, because then I've got something OI-ish to do, right? So this is my spot. I can be here. I can watch from there, and people will come to me for things, and
Right.
then I can sort of manage the chaos. But just the idea of going somewhere without any plan, without any job to do, is just no.
So ST play is also chaos from the tribe specifically.
Yeah.
So do you get triggered by tribe chaos specifically, or not so much?
Yeah, define triggered in this case. There's plenty of ways to be triggered. Which ones are you most interested in?
Oh, like, because it's play, so it's tribe related, like people chaos.
Yeah, no, I get just a very sort of limited patience for it, limited capacity. I'm the person who's always like, when I'm at a conference or something, I always sort of hide in the bathroom for an hour, like in the middle of the day, just to get everyone off me. And I try to manage it and channel it, because I don't want to ruin everyone's fun, right? I'm not going to stand there and say, no, I don't want to do any of this. And like, it's important to me for other reasons to be there, usually. So I try to sort of manage my way around that, but it's not. It's sometimes when people are just really sort of happy, bouncy playing, and they just say random stuff, and I'm like, sure, you seem like you're having fun. I'll just sit here and I'll join right back in when it's going somewhere.
Right. And then what about exchange of energy with the tribe? So part of play is like goofing off and like doing fun stuff, pinging back and forth with the tribe. Do you find that difficult? Like
Yeah.
when it's playtime, is it hard for you to like, I don't know what to do, like kind of deal?
Yeah, I'll probably just sort of zone out and like look at the birds, and I'll just sort of keep an eye and an ear out for what's going on around me. And then if someone says something that I happen to know something about, you can make a joke or something, but I cannot go to I cannot do that.
And then
unless it feels like we're going somewhere, like we were talking, we're having an actual conversation. That's good. I like that. We can keep that up forever. But if it's just like more random stuff and new topics, and then yeah, no.
what about like partying and stuff, like just having fun, goofing off and stuff? How do you
No, so I'm not very goofy at parties. I like having serious conversations at parties. That's really enjoyable to me. I used to have this friend in college. She had the most wonderful birthday parties, because she could just go there and meet new people, and they'd all be willing to have interesting conversations. But like the what you see like in movies in terms of party culture, it really annoys me. I can definitely, I used to party a lot when I was a student, for instance. I used to go out 2 to 3 times a week, and I'd probably stay out until like the sun came up. But I would go to
did you like it?
place, and I would dance all night.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I love dancing. That's great, but that's OI. I mean, I love dancing. I know how to do that. I know where to go. I know, yeah. But just hanging out with new people and just bar hopping or something like that, that's not my job.
Oh, that makes sense now, because if it's familiar people, familiar venue, then yeah, no
Not
problem.
even just familiar people, but just I am going and I'm dancing until I'm done dancing, and then I'm going to hang out for a bit until I'm done chatting, and then I'm going home. That's my perfect night.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, I see. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
let's see what happens. Who knows where we'll end up? I know where I'm ending up. I'm ending up at this venue, and then I'm going straight home. That's my plan. Yeah.
gotcha. Okay. No, I because I interviewed that the ESTJ lady play last also. Anna.
Anna. Yeah. She had a lot of fun at her work thing. Yeah.
Yeah. She also loves dancing and stuff. So I thought like, the demon plays love the party.
Love dancing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. And then also I interviewed like another an INTJ long time ago. He's play last also, and he also tells me he loves dancing.
The dancing is great. Yeah.
So I'm like,
love it.
there's something with play last people. I don't know if it's like a pattern or just like a clustering or whatever.
I mean, it's an easy thing to do. Like, you are still sort of freely moving as you want to in the moment, but it's not tribe chaos. It's very organized chaos. So it's easy to let go in that little bucket.
I guess the dance floor is in a box. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. When you're on the dance floor, you behave like this. When you're off the dance floor, you behave like that. It's wonderful.
Yeah. I guess you could argue it's organized. Okay, that's funny.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's not like I did like ballroom dancing. I went to gothic and metal concerts and sort of thrashed around in the mosh pit. But still, I mean, there are rules there.
Right. I guess because it's also NI, so it's like abstract rules. It's not like physical rules. So for you,
yeah. Exactly.
Your play is ST, so it's block banging. and it's also gathering facts from the tribe. Do you see yourself doing either or with that play, like gathering facts from the tribe or collaborating with a tribe to get something completed, like something physical or something that's real?
I do like collaborating with a tribe, but I do think that's all blasts. Because I don't like it when you just stick a bunch of people in a room and let's build whatever. I like it when you have like an actual goal and the things you do are going to move towards that goal, and
I see.
you don't expand. No, like okay, you maybe expand a little because there's a hole or there's something that doesn't work, and you expand a little and then you narrow back down and you build towards the thing again. I
Right.
don't like don't like just random new stuff from the tribe.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. It makes sense that the blast is your preferred way to work with a tribe. Yeah.
Yeah,
Your other animal is consume, and your consume is SF. So it's like the
yeah.
cool, popular, whatever. How do you personally experience that SF consume?
I really like music and books and arts and just the stuff that can all really move me. And I spend way too much time on those things.
Oh, right. And your consume is double feminine. So how that extra layer, how does it affect you?
Well, I think like I've been sort of trying to figure that out. Also, like what other people say about how they experience theirs, and it's things like the double masculine consume is very present, very clear, but also very narrowed down in its own sense. Like it's very particular about what it wants to consume or not.
Right.
And with me, like I am interested and curious about everything. Like you can just mention 10 random stuff, the topics on off the top of your head, and I'm probably like, actually, I don't have any idea about all these things. It sounds fascinating. Tell me more. Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never
I'm
thought of
not
it that
a
way, but I guess, yeah, you're right. I think like the double masculine consume would be more aggressive versus like yours is more open and flowy, you know?
exactly like favorite restaurants. I don't know. I've never been to Ethiopian. Let's go. Yeah.
Gotcha. Um, Part of consume is also external self-awareness. So seeing yourself from a third person perspective and knowing how you come across to
Mhm.
externally. How do you personally experience that third person? Because you have sleep high, so
Yeah.
internal self-awareness is very obvious. But what about the external self-awareness?
I used to have issues with that in a sense when I was a kid. I just don't care about that as much anymore. Like, I mean, I know how to do like brush my hair and stuff like that before I go out. But it's yeah, I think it was more difficult when I was younger to do well, also like the EJ story, right? To have the idea that people externally regard you positively. I mean, it's easy to imagine that people don't like you, but it's not always as easy to imagine that people do like you. And I think I've sort of gotten over that. That's fine. Like people generally seem to be okay towards me.
Gotcha. Okay. um, you already talked about freaking out printers earlier, so that part of like the consumed thing is already covered. What about double observing? So you're technically balanced with gathering and organizing with a focus on organizing, obviously.
Yeah,
Um, but
exactly.
you're double OI. You're not like single OI. You're like double, right? So
Yeah, I'm sort of more like an observer and a half and a decider and a half rather than a double
yeah,
observer and
yeah,
a single decider.
yeah,
Yeah.
something like that. So how do you personally experience, leaning towards more OI, but still doing that double serving?
I've tried to actually I was typing back in May, so that's more than 6 months ago. I've tried to be more aware of that, but I think that's something that other people have to tell you about, that oh, this is double observer, because it's as natural as breathing to think the way that you think, right? I mean, you've never thought any other way than you think, and I've never thought any other way than I think, so it's hard to actually see the difference. To me, I'm much more aware of my double deciding, but because that's a learned skill, and the double observing apparently that just happens.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess it's like breathing oxygen for you. So it's kind of like,
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, but I can describe my double deciding. So for example, like if I go to work, for example, and then my boss says something to me that then I feel butthurt by it.
Hmm.
Um, and then I'll go back home, and then at first I'll think my boss is a jerk. But then if I think about how I personally behave, I'll be like, I also do that. I'm also a jerk. So why am I getting upset at my boss doing this when I also do this? And then I feel
Hmm.
better. Then I'd be like, okay, it's just a normal human thing to do. So so I can still like kind of see it, but I guess for you it's so automatic that it's hard for you to see it.
Yeah. But also I mostly see where I'm failing, like with the printers and with the organizational stuff that's not working, and that it's
Right.
really like those things are extra annoying. Like imagine that as a double decider, you still run into decider issues that do really get you at every now and then.
Oh yeah, no, big time for sure.
Yeah.
I have tons of decider issues, but it's not my main problem, but it's there. I have a lot
Yeah,
of
yeah, exactly. So those things will probably stand out because I mean, it's humans are sort of programmed to notice the negative more than they are to notice the positive.
right.
Yeah,
Um
yeah. Like a while ago, there was this topic on the Facebook group, and Mike, I had a comment about like it's always interesting to see where people want to put the work in, right? So it was about yeah, someone's like, do you do the dishes every night so you have clean dishes in the morning, or do you do the dishes when you need them? Like I was like, yeah. So it's always interesting to me where people do that. So in terms of laundry, I like being able to get clean laundry from my wardrobe, but I don't like turning my laundry inside out as I am taking it off. When I go to bed, I just want to take my stuff off and toss it in the bin. So I will do all the work when I'm folding, and other people have different preferences. And someone's like, "Oh, this is really good double observing." Like this is not double observing. That's just normal.
oh, I get triggered by the dishes stuff. Like if people leave it overnight, like no, like, me and my girlfriend almost broke up several times because of the dishes when we first moved in together. Like
Yeah.
we can get past our decider problems, but oh my god,
Oh, the dishes. Yeah.
dishes. Oh, and I think I read some articles before where like it's actually it's pretty common for couples to break up over dishes. Kind of crazy,
Yeah, it sort of becomes this sort of catalyst defining NI focus point of everything that's wrong with the two of you. Yeah. Those
yeah,
things. Yeah.
yeah. Um, I think next time if like anyone goes on like a first date or whatever, they should that
Yeah.
should be
Like,
the first
what do you do
question.
with the dishes?
It's not like what do you do for fun? It should be like, so do you clean the dishes after you use it and put it away, or do you leave it there overnight? And then
Yeah.
it,
My first date question would be, how judgy are you about doing the dishes? Because I'm really not that great in
yeah,
terms of household maintenance. Like before I came on this call, I did straighten the living room and put away the dinner stuff and clean up the chaos. The kids left, but that's mostly because I live with a human who really likes all that stuff done.
right.
So yeah.
So okay, so when you're going to work, for example, and you've already exhausted your box,
Mhm.
solution is all gone, and you still can't solve it. Would you say you would go out of your way to gather them, knowing that what like anything that you already know is not enough to solve this
Mhm.
issue? Would you go gather them even though you have
Google, yeah, Google is my best friend.
okay,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So this is also one of the things why I'm thinking I might not be play over consume, because Dave is always saying like, I would not read the manual, I would not go to Google, I'd call a friend and blurt out the problem and see if they have any good ideas.
right,
Like I wouldn't know, I'm not calling any friends just because I have a problem. What kind of stupid idea is that? I'm going to first try it again, see if it works, because maybe I did something wrong,
right,
and then I'm going to think about it, and then if that doesn't work, then I'm going to Google it, and if that doesn't work, I'm going to really get really annoyed, and I'm going to throw it in the corner for 2 days, and then I might call a friend.
is it, but that it could also be because you're a decider, like
No, yeah, well, could be, yeah. Like I don't like calling people in general. It's just annoying. But I don't have the kind of friends who would be judgy at me for not being able to solve a problem. Like,
Okay.
that's no. I have plenty of people who I could call.
Yeah.
It's just that the idea is kind of repugnant.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm lead play, so I call people all the time. I
Yeah,
don't,
no.
and even if I know they're gonna get annoyed, I'll call them anyways. Because
Yeah, no. I love calling. I love staying in touch with friends, but that's always like I would want to talk to you. Do you have time sometime next week to call? And then so yeah, let's pick Thursday, and then I'm calling them on Thursday, and then everything is great. Yeah.
that's so weird. I have play last friends who are like that. They're like, Can you schedule it first?" I'm like, what the
No,
fuck?
I'm not gonna just pick up the phone and call you. Like, what if you're doing something? What if? No, no, no. I want to be sure that we have this connection, and then we can call.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, my girlfriend has demon play, and then when people call her, she'll look at her phone. It's like, I don't feel like picking up. I'm like, oh my god,
Yeah.
you're a jerk.
I usually your girlfriend's INFJ, right? So I usually pick up because I
INTJ.
am lead TJ. It's a lead TE. So definitely like, oh, the tribe needs me. Bad signal. But yeah, I will be like, and then I pick up and then we talk and then of course it's fine as they're friends. But yeah, there's just huge emotional hurdle before I can get to that place.
Yeah. No, my girlfriend's an INTJ, but yes.
INTJ, yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah.
yeah, she would
IJ for sure, yeah,
she like but she has like savior consume. So I don't know.
yeah.
But I don't know. Anyways, let's cover your sexual modalities. You are visual and you are tester. Let's start with the visual part.
Yeah.
Um, learning and also having a visual memory. Can you share a little bit about that aspect of you?
Well, I am the world's worst visual because I'm pretty much completely mind blind. I do have strong preferences visually, but I cannot, if I close my eyes and I'm trying to remember what you look like, I've just looked at you and I sort of course, I know what you look like. I'll recognize you from a picture, but I cannot picture things in my mind.
Oh, okay, weird.
Yeah.
What about learning through visual? Do you see yourself learning very well through visual means?
I'm pretty. I used to be really good in school. It was always easy to learn things, and I have sort of a visual memory, except without the visual component. So I sort of remember that this bit about this topic is on sort of this page, and it's right there, and there's a picture on top of it, right above it, and it's got something about a horse. I'll remember that, but it's not like I can look at it and see it in my mind's eye.
Gotcha.
So it's kind of a strange, like I imagine like if you had a blind person who would be typed visual, I would have their kind of memory.
That's okay. That's a fun description. What about your tester side? So smell and taste. How do you personally experience that?
Yeah, a very good smell and taste. Also, I'm always touching all the fabrics and the rocks and the plants and things just to sort of feel what they feel like. I'm luckily not that sensitive to vibration. I'm pretty sensitive to light. They're very sensitive to noise. Yeah, well, and I think I lost about 20% of my sense of smell after getting COVID,
Oh
and
no.
I'm so happy. It's brilliant because now
Oh,
it's finally something you can actually live with. And
it was too strong before?
was too strong before. Yeah, yeah. And I remember when I was pregnant, it was even worse. Like I can, like chicken would start to smell off the day that I got it from the supermarket, even though it was the use by date was 4 days out. It was
Yeah.
already smelling rotten.
Really?
Yeah, and what I remember one time we were walking somewhere and there was this couple walking a block ahead of us, so like 50, 60 meters, and the guy has apparently used way too much aftershave, and I was almost sort of tossed my cookies right there. That's yeah.
Oh, interesting. So your
It's,
COVID symptoms was permanent? You permanently lost 20% of your smell?
I think so. I haven't been annoyed at the way the world smelled since. So,
That's the first time I've heard anyone say positive
yeah,
thing from COVID.
hallelujah. Yeah.
Hallelujah to COVID. um,
Yeah.
all right. So the last area I want to discuss with you is actually your FI in the bottom. So that's
Yeah.
kind of a scary topic, but so I'll
Oh,
let
maybe.
You do have it kind of in a savior state, half like 50% of it,
Yeah.
because of your sleep. So let's cover all the different aspects of it. What tidal waves have you had from having FI in the bottom? So from what I heard, from descriptions, it's either self-loathing or EJ victim personality, like what aspects of those do you can you honestly relate with and
I
share?
was a huge mess as a kid. Absolutely, definitely with the self-loathing all day, every day. That luckily got much better once I was in my 20s. Another tidal wave aspect I definitely get is I tend to sort of push the feelings and value side out to the future. Like I remember when I was applying for my job as PhD student, like that supervisor and me, we don't really get along, but we can work through this. It'll probably be fine. He's a grown up, I'm a grown up, we can do this. And yeah, we're probably going to have a couple of fist fights here and there, but it'll be fine. And of course it wasn't. So that kind of sucked. Yeah.
And then for FI, like doing what you like, do you find that hard personally? It's like, taking time for yourself to do the things that you want to do, as
I
opposed
find
to
it almost impossible as long as someone else is in the room with me.
if you isolate yourself, are you okay?
I'm fine. Yeah, just leave me alone and I'll be happy as a clam. Yeah. So I think that's also one of the reasons why I think the last two animals are better off switch, because it feels like the sleep consume cycle is definitely very easy to get from one to the other, while Dave is always saying that to get to his consume, he has to sort of clear that play hurdle.
Right.
And yeah, no, I don't have that. Just as long as no one's in the room with me, I can consume and enjoy myself with the things that only I like to my heart's content. As soon as someone steps in the room with me, I'm like, okay, they're here now. What do they need? What's going on here? And it's just really annoying.
So your assessment is that the last two animal is flip. So you think play last and consume third. So that would make you info dominant as opposed to energy dominant. Can you share a little bit about how you personally experience energy versus info dom, and how you felt like you were more info dom as opposed to energy dom?
Yeah, I could send you the 5-page document I wrote after getting my type back, sort of analyzing why. Yeah. So that's already kind of info-ish. I was the two sort of anecdotes that stand out to me for energy and info is like that the energy doms, they like to sort of work and play at the same time.
Yeah.
I cannot do that. If I work and play at the same time, I end up just playing, and play not OPS play, but just sort of like doing stuff that I want to do. Like if the idea of like I just work for 20 minutes and then read my book for 20 minutes, that ends up being I work for 20 minutes and I read my book for 5 hours. So that's I need to be really mindful there.
Right.
I also the other anecdote that they always use is that, do you wreck a relationship to get the information right, or do you wreck the relationship because the talking is getting too much? I'm always the person wrecking the relationship because I need to, no, but we have to go over this. We haven't discussed this and this and there, and there's a thing there. And we need this, and how about that? And what do you think about this? And here, this, that, this. And then the other person is like, just let it go already. And no, I can't.
I'm guilty of that as well.
Yeah, no, I know it's really annoying. I really try to be mindful of giving people their space to do their thing, but it's just like, but yeah.
Yeah, my girlfriend gets so pissed off at me at that. It's like, I
Yeah,
already told you. I'm like, but you weren't clear,
exactly. But you haven't told me that if this variable changes, then how about that? And then we do this, and then do we do this or that? Or no, always.
Okay. So I after talking to you for almost like 45 minutes now, I do feel you do have a case for play last. I can see it because you're also on the serious side. You're not very goofy at all.
Yeah, no, I make a lot of jokes, but they are sort of like witticisms, not goofy.
Right.
Yeah, I'm happy. Sort
Yeah,
of. No,
not
I
slaps,
don't have that.
not that
Yeah.
slapstick BS. I hate that stuff.
I cannot. I find it really amusing to watch in other people, but I'm
Yeah.
just like, how do you do that?
Oh my
How?
god, my god, my girlfriend abuses that slapstick humor so bad. It's so annoying. But anyways,
Yeah.
yeah, she loves
My
it.
husband is also a lot better at that than I am. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, I know. I would be interested to see if you would submit your self-worth, retyping, because they're offering it free now, right? So when they open it up again in the new year, I think that would be interesting to see if you would get play last. I think that you have a very good case actually. After talking,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I would in a heartbeat, and I don't even care if it's free. Like if I got to give them $100 and they'd have a sort of structured process, then I'd be like in there within the millisecond. But it's just a whole like, oh yeah, do whatever, and we'll see whatever, and I don't know guarantees, and but whatever. That's just yeah,
well, they're giving more explanation nowadays. I don't know if you saw
yeah.
people
But
coming in.
maybe like if it was like if you put this in and you get that out, it's sort of guaranteed, then I could sort of make the decision whether I would be happy with it. It's the maybiness and the uncertainty and the energy dumbness of it that sort of is keeping me back.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Maartje, we'll wrap up the interview here. So, thanks for coming out and sharing more about yourself. And actually, you were very OE for this interview because we scheduled it a bit later, but then I messed up and I got the times wrong. And
No, but actually that fell great into my OI stuff. Like the kids happen to be in bed just a little early, so if we do this interview a little early, it's only 8:30 now, and there's still some time for me to do stuff and then go to bed.
yeah,
That
there
was
you go. It
perfect.
worked for everyone. Sweet.
Yeah.
All right. Well, take care. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'll see you around the group. Okay.
Absolutely. Bye bye. Thank
Bye
you.
bye.